It's not an accident that the midos of a kid in pain, of someone in pain, is that they are very, very comfortable and love spending time with animals, especially dogs, with babies, and with special needs, mentally retarded special needs. Why? Because what do they have in common? They don't judge. They want to be around people who look at them and appreciate them for who they are without judgment. They don't judge the tattoos, they don't judge the tznius, they don't judge. And you see their hearts going out to them. And they are generally so giving, and they really relate more with the homeless than they do with us, which is so sad. They feel for the homeless, they feel for the underdogs, they defend the Palestinians, they defend every underdog, the liberals, the very liberal minded, because they feel tremendous rejection from the mainstream. We built a beautiful mainstream and they feel like it crushed them. And they're on the bottom of this, under the 20-foot building of this mainstream Klal Yisrael. They feel like they're at the bottom. So they care about those homeless people because they identify more with them than with us. How sad. They're the type that they can work and they can take their whole paycheck. If they go outside and they see a homeless person, they give them the whole paycheck. They're the most extreme midas hachesed, which we can learn from. They're all heart, because their brains are in so much pain from all the reasons that people have to hurt and reject. Leman hat toivus haklal, and for the other people and for the class, and they're the carbon for all of that. One of the things that we can do, besides two things, right? So one thing is we try to get them, the dogs, the pets, get trained ones. And this is not because I'm pro animals or dogs. If you do research, you'll find out that it releases 5 chemicals in their brains. It helps them get off drugs. It helps them get out of depression. Mamish, we have data in TP parents who have done it with great Mesiras Nefesh. One of the first ones was a Chassidish Yid, and he went to his Rebbe, the Kruller Rebbe from Williamsburg, the son of Reb Hershel Espinka, Schus Yogan Aleinu. And he said, what do? I did research. 5 chemicals go up in the brain. And these chemicals are so low on my kid who's so depressed. It helps them get out of bed. It helps them feel safer. It helps them not feel lonely. And 5 chemicals, literally, it's mamish black and white data. Serotonin, oxytocin, 5, Google it. I don't remember them. And it makes them healthier. So it's a medicine. On the other hand, I live in a Chassidish community. I'm going to go outside. I'm going to have a doggy. It's very, very hard. There's not one dog in his block or in his community. Chassidish people and many other people don't have dogs in there. They have shilas on dogs, whatever. And the Rebbe, the Heilige Rebbe Shlita, told him, what would you do if your daughter was blind? You wouldn't get her a seeing eye dog? So over there, you're getting her a dog so she could see. And now you're getting a dog so she could feel and think and become normal. It's medicine. Be stolz, be strong. And he did. He was walking with his Shramel Bekesha and his talis coming up from shul, and his daughter's there with walking the dog. And he said, I got to save my kid. Once we know that this is helpful for my child, I'm not going to sacrifice the mental health of my child for my neighbors or for my reputation. I'm not going to sacrifice it for my ego. Like Rav Steinman said, people sacrifice their kids. They want to do, they prefer their kids should die than be Mechal Shabbos. He says it's all about your own ego. Of course, it's humbling, and I feel bad for the parents that have to give up and to be that weird family with the dog. I get it. But you do everything and anything to go ahead and make sure that you're saving this kid's life, because you don't want to have a din v'cheshbon afterwards that I didn't make my kid healthier, which, by the way, when we make them healthier, it's also more mitzvahs, less hatred, less rejection, and more acceptance, is closer to Hashem as well. It's all the same derech that brings them back. And I don't want to make a cheshbon that I didn't do it because my ego would be bruised, or I had low self-esteem, or I was worried about this, or I was worried about that. Be you. People will look up to you. And if somebody says, like happened this week, a guy came over to a Chassidish family and he shepherded him, he bothered him. He said, oh, you have a hund? So the mother did the right thing. She went over to him, she looked him in the eye, and she said, I give you a bracha. None of your children should be so in pain that you need to go ahead and to get a dog for them, for their mental health. You think I want to get a dog? I did this for fun. I'm doing this because this is saving my daughter's life. And he right away, Right away, he put his eyes down and he said, you're right, you're right, you're right. Amen, amen, amen. Okay, they don't understand, you explain it to them. You can write a letter. I see that you're looking down at me. You think that I like dogs. I was just like you, but I have a situation. This is important for my child. And I would appreciate it if you don't look down at me or my child. A lot of parents, when people look down at them, start to understand a little bit of what it's like to be a kid. You're strong enough that you can deal with it. But imagine if you weren't strong and you weren't developed and you felt like it's your parents looking down at you, your grandparents, and the whole, people say, the whole shal psychiatrist is looking down at you, and the whole neighborhood and your whole class, all your abbayim, and everybody in shul, and all the friends, and everybody in the block, everybody looks down at you. You're shaggats, you're a lowlife. Of course you do drugs. You feel the pain when people looking down at you. Be strong. Don't yell at them. Explain it to them. Our derech is not to yell at people, just like we don't want them yelling at us. So explain it to them. I told this other family yesterday to write a letter. I see that you're looking at the way that I'm dealing with my child. I want to start off with a bracha that you should never have to deal with this. I want to explain to you what I'm doing. And with beautiful words of love, starting with a bracha, ending with a bracha, you take this letter, you give it over to this person. That's it. I notice that you're talking about me to your friends. Don't think that I don't notice and my child doesn't notice. I don't think it's the right thing to do. I want to explain to you that we have to do certain things to make accommodations because we want to save her life. We're under Das Torah. We're following the Derech HaTorah. And I want you to know it hurts me. I give you a bracha that you should never have to do it. It's the way to do it. Another way of dealing with the neighbors is you go over to them and say, could you do me a favor? Could you lend me $25,000? They're going to avoid you. No more comments from the neighbors.